Hey everyone, thank you so much for joining me today. It's Patty from PS Paper Crafts, and I have a really cool card to show you. It's been a while. Last week we had a power outage for 24 hours, and I was going to make a card and do a video, and I couldn't even make phone calls. It was kind of crazy. And I did move into my new place in Pennsylvania, so I'm in the unpacking mode and getting my craft room set up, but we're getting there. I can make cards, so that's a good thing. So this is a card inspired, or I guess originated, by Jackie Bullheis. She's the fun fold queen, I think, and I get a lot of ideas from her. And this is called a triangle fun fold. So it opens like this and then like this. Isn't that cool? Very simple to make once you have you know, all of the measurements and everything. So we're going to use different paper, different stamp set. I like to give you a variety so you can see, you know, whatever pattern paper you have, you can use. And I think for this kind of a busy pattern is nice, not too big, but it wouldn't matter. So for this card, I used the Fresh as a Daisy designer series paper, and there's a lot of good patterns you can use for this. And then I used the Cheerful Daisies stamp set, and I used this one. I just used the closed one. You can use the open or the closed, and some stems and leaves. And I did the corners on the white using, whoops, wrong punch. I had put it away and I grabbed it. So this triple, I don't know what it's called, but all of the details, the products that I used and the measurements will be in a project sheet. There's a link below here, and it's also on my blog, pspapercrafts.com. So that is this card, and we're going to do similar. You know, the front will be different stamp, the paper will be different, and then this label will be different on the card we're going to make. So this is the first one, and then this one, I love this paper. This is the Countryside Inn paper, and there's so many beautiful patterns and things, so I thought this pattern here was perfect to use for this card. And again, it opens and opens, and I just put a little strip down there. And for this card, I used the Seasonal Branches stamp set. I thought this was really nice. May you feel sheltered in the love that surrounds you. I have a lot of friends that are battling cancer right now, and I thought this would be a sweet card to send to one of them, or maybe I'll make a few of them. And I thought this sentiment was good. And then on the inside, I just put an extra strip there. And I did the small branch, and then I did the single flowers, and I added some rhinestones to it. And but I didn't do it because I already had the paper cut. I thought these are the Countryside corner dies, and I thought that I could make this piece, this foldy piece. If I used this, I thought that would have been nice. So if you want to cut this to make it a folding card, you would cut it and not cut this top part. So you would cut your paper, leaving this off the platform or off the paper, and then you would have this shape with a folding card. So maybe I'll do that on another card another time. So that is this card. Let's put all of these things away. So for the card we're going to make today, we are going to use the Masterfully made designer series paper. And I just saw something about how they made this paper, and it's pretty cool, and I will have it on my blog. I'll have a link to the video. It's with Sarah Douglas, who's the CEO of Stampin' Up. Her mom is the founder, Shelley. And she had the person who designed this paper, and it's actually, I mean, these are my favorites, the flower ones. So, and that's what we're going to be using today, is this floral one. And there's two of them that I just love. And this was my card class. Sorry, I've been using it a lot. This is what I did with my card class this month. I used this paper. So I think these two are pretty. But then there's the other sides, or, well, not those other sides. There's these sheets. And it's actually torn paper that she tore and laid out. She embossed some of them and she lined them all up and took pictures of them. And I just thought that was so cool. And I love the colors. I think they're very vibrant. It's kind of a different kind of paper. I wasn't sure of it at first, but look at that. Isn't that cool? You could just, you know, cut this down and make a card and just put a sentiment on it. You really don't need to add a lot to the designer series papers. So anyway, we're going to use this, and I have Berry Burst. I was back and forth on whether to do Night of Navy or Berry Burst. But since I had this one as Night of Navy, I figured I would do the Berry Burst. And then we're going to do the inside piece with crushed curry. That picks up nicely. I have this piece, which is cut with the contoured or scalloped contour dies, and I tried to determine what size would fit on this. So I picked this one, the third from the largest, and then this is my inside pieces. So let's get started. I have this, I don't usually use this, but I'm still trying to work my way out with the area and the where my camera is placed. I'm still trying to figure that out because it's not how I used to have it. So I figured if I had this, I would know where I am, so I'm not off. I did one that I was kind of off on. So let's do, this is your normal card base. So it's 8.5 by 5.5, and it's scored at 4 1/4. And we're going to take our trimmer, and we are going to get this score line in the groove and the point in the groove. So we want to line that up, and I have it the wrong way, so I could have folded it back the other way, but let's do it the right way. So you want where the fold is and then the point, and we're going to cut that right off. Okay, and this I'll save. I'll probably use it for die cutting or something like that. Then we're going to take this, and this is 4 by 5 1/4, again our normal size, and you want to make sure if it's directional that you're cutting your angle the right way. So we're going to go point to point, okay, and we'll just go right up like that. So we have our cutting done. Very easy, right? It looks complicated, but it really isn't. And then we're going to lay this up, and I'm going to have it right up to the edge here. And I'll get my liquid glue. Isn't that so pretty? I love it. And there is writing on here. I don't know if you can see it, but they're kind of in the background. And the stamp set has some writing. I don't think we're going to use that. But even back here, there's some words. I don't know what the words are. I guess I could figure it out if I really spent the time and looked at them closely. So we're going to have this right up against the ledge. There you go. And then this piece is going on the inside. And we just want to make sure there's a border. So see, it's cut right down, so it's kind of a continuation. So let's do this. We'll put some glue on here. And then we're going to lay this down. We want a little bit of a border, but we also want to close it to make sure that there's a little lip right there, a little line, I would say, right there. Then we have our piece. This is 3 by 8.5, and we're going to take this and score it at 4 1/4. What's 4 1/2? Where are we? 4 1/4. And we'll just score it. And this is our piece that's going to lay here like this, okay? So let's get our bone folder and just make sure this is nice and burnished and crisp. And then we'll put this aside. So now we have this piece that I'm going to use here. And I am going to use the Gorgeously Made. This is the stamp set that goes with the paper, with the designer series paper. And I decided I'm going to use this big branch and I'm going to make it a thank you card. So we're going to stamp the big branch on here. And I had a hard time picking color. There's the Berry Burst, there's Crushed Curry. I went with Pretty Peacock. There's, let's see, let's get the paper out because it tells you. There's Azure Afternoon, which is the lighter blue. There's Night of Navy, Lost Lagoon, Lemon Lolly, Melon Mambo. There's so many different colors here. Fresh Freesia. I was going to go with a Fresh Freesia, but I decided to go with the Pretty Peacock. So we'll see how that goes. I haven't made this ahead of time. A lot of times I make the cards ahead of time and I know what it's going to look like, but this will be a surprise. Okay. We're just going to ink this up. I just want to see how it looks. And go right like this. And then we're going to use Berry Burst and do the thank you. You can do a hello. And the other thing that I saw in the video on how they made this paper, this is actually a spiral from a spiral notebook. And I think they took a picture and made an image or however they do it. But again, I'll have the link. I think the link you'll enjoy seeing the process. I mean, these designers are pretty amazing with how they come up with ideas. Who would have thought, right? So we have the thank you. And what do we want to do on the inside? I think I'll just put the designer series paper on the inside. There's a little piece left over that I can use. So we're just going, you can do dimensionals, but I feel like there's a lot of thickness on this card. So I'm just putting it down flat. Thank you. And then let's get the little scrap of paper. So I have this little piece. It's so this is 2 3/4 wide, and this is just 3/4 high. You can stamp in there the floral or a sentiment. On this kind of a card, I like to leave a note. There's not a lot of writing, so I like to write my own note. And we'll put this in here. Just glue it down. Got a little glue there, so I want to make sure I don't get that on anything. And this fits perfectly. And see how it picks up the color here on the flowers? And then we'll just put some glue here. And then this is going to go inside. And you want to have it, you know, with a nice border around. You don't want it below this triangle though. Make sure it's straight. Make sure this closes. Look at that. Isn't that pretty? Okay, so let's add a little bling. And I thought my video wasn't going. So we have a choice on these. So we could do the green, the Berry Burst, the blue. I think that is Blueberry Bushel. I'm not sure. But I think we'll do, I feel like this is a little crooked. Okay. I think we'll do the Berry Burst. And we'll just put, maybe we'll put them in the corner up here. One. These are the smaller ones. 2. Do I want to go out here or down here? I think I'll go right here. 3. So thank you. And then it opens up. And then there's this one. Which one do you like best? Whoops. And then this one. I don't know which one I like best. I like them all. So anyway, thank you so much for joining me. Give this a try. I will have a project sheet below. There's a link, and I will also have it in my blog, pspapercrafts.com. You could shop for products there. I have a link to my online store. Right now we have bonus days going on to the end of the month. So for every $50 you spend, you get a coupon for $5 that you can redeem in August. And then I also always have a loyalty program. For every $50 you spend in product, that's before tax and shipping, you get a point, and after you have 10 points, I send you a free stamp set of your choice as long as it's current. All right, so thanks so much for joining, and you have a good day. Bye.